Good. No, you're not that good. I am able to see your Kate and your face there. Yeah. Oh, that I said, is it my face? Oh, it probably is now. I changed it. Okay. Okay. There you are. Okay. Alma, now. But yeah. Now wait, I'm trying to get to you. And when I go, hold on. I'm not good at this. Hold on. Oh, wait, there we go. Now I am. Hi. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, welcome everybody. Those on the Wisdom and other channels on the Restream too. I've been talking about this topic, 7 ways of how to be having a stress-free day, and we have done almost five now. And the sixth one today is the gratitude. Let me recap the last five we talked about. This is about simple things I do, and I advise my friends and family and the patients also. How can we really reduce the stress or live stress free by doing these simple things? It's not like a prescription or anything, but it's like a lifestyle things I kind of talk about and I practice too. The number one was for me is always living in the present. I mean, if you cultivate, if you really attend to it, you can do it. You can live as much as possible, not in the past, not in the future, but here and now. That's number one, right? Number two is breathing deep. If you can really cultivate that deep breathing in the morning and in the evening. Hi, Alka. So that second thing is very important also for health wise. I elaborate on that. And then number three is watch how you're reacting to things. Instead of reacting, respond to things. That's the third one. And the fourth one is something I do, I propagate everybody, is to be silent for some time, like 5 to 15 minutes in the morning and in the evening. In this era of running around, going after several things, it's advisable to take some time to be silent in the moment and all that. That's number four, and the number five is just be kind to somebody. Random act of kindness. So there I stopped yesterday, and today I will take up the sixth one, which is really counting our blessings, really celebrating what we have, and being satisfied with what we have. All that really helps us to be grateful, to be really seeing the half glass full, that kind of thing. I will elaborate on that. And the seventh one will be positive and do things for others. That I will do tomorrow. Today I will talk about gratitude. Anybody has any comments up until now before I proceed into the topic of gratitude? Alma, Dharni, Kate, Alka? I'm good, Doctor. I'm just listening and ready for the class today. Okay, very good. So, gratitude is something that we all talk about. We maintain a diary. This is all very good. But being really aware of what we have in our life or in our position and all that, and having that attitude like I have the abundance with me, or I am full already, I don't need anything, really adds a lot to not having tension or fear about or anxiety about things. See, so there used to be a movement in France in 60s and 70s. It is called movement awareness, PMA or something like that. What they did was they wrote down everything that was there in their life positive. It could be things, it could be people, it could be places, it could be something that they have acquired as talents. All those things they used to list it out and then say, okay, I have all these things, and then they used to appreciate and then really thank for that, all that. That was something really made them relax and then achieve things in a way that's not tension felt. So that's a very very important example, and it took on for several couple of decades. That was very active in France. And they found from then onwards, we are not going to go and work like nuts. We are going to take breaks, longer breaks for lunch. And then we have, actually, they have 4 days or something a week day. But now they're kind of going to 5 days per week. But it's a laid back approach that kind of led into some kind of laziness and all that. That was there. But generally, the society was laid back, and the idea was to celebrate what you have, to be happy what you have, and then go after what is meaningful for you. So that's a very important trait that we should have. uh, if you look much further down the line into the ancients, they were happy that they were human beings. They were happy that they have this humaneness, this uh, love and affection in their hearts, and then they have families and they have tribes and all that they counted. They were very satisfied and content with getting the food and eating and that kind of basic things. Right? As the civilization evolved, we kind of happy to be together and then raise the crops or whatever food that we grow together. We kind of hunted or grown. They were able to share and they were happy to be that. But later on, this ego thing has evolved all over the world. Ego thing has evolved, and that ego made it like a I should be having everything. I should be secure more than other people. I am the one who is important. That kind of thing, right? Then what happened was that ego separated us. That ego still makes us feel like we don't have enough to be satisfying that ego, and the whole thing has really evolved into kind of struggle. The modern living people have, first they are educating. They say, oh, if I will grow up, I will have more happiness, fun, pleasure, and all that. And then they have the degrees and they have the monies, all the things that they have to, and then they have to compare with other people, and then they say I should have more. So in this rush of development of this civilization, ego development, and also uh, profit generation, we forgot to remember what we have is more than enough, and then we can be starting with a half full rather than half empty attitude. That's where this recalling and being grateful to what we have is going to be very easy for us to maintain a journal and put it like a gratitude journal, and then just to make sure you are documenting and remembering and celebrating what you have. Okay, there's a story also. There was this black gentleman who was living in Africa somewhere, and he had a son and who needed operation for certain surgical condition. He didn't have money, but he was cultivating this habit of putting a black stone, which is a very very rare stone, really looks good, in his pocket, and every time he touches that, he will remember at least he has his son. He may need help, but then otherwise he is here, and I have somebody to love, and I will try to help him and all that. Then he goes on being like that for a while, and then he happens to see a visitor, and then the visitor notices a beautiful rock, and he asks him what it is about. Then he tells him that story, and this gentleman comes back to his original country, USA, and USA, he goes on remembering that particular thing, and he does his own way the gratitude thing, and then he discovers how happy he is ever since he discovered that habit. Then he raises money for that black man's son and sends the money for his surgery, and then everything ends well. But the thing is, it's so powerful, and simple thing like that. Somebody is practicing, it rubbed on this man, and this man really found all the things that he has. He was ignoring before. He was ignoring all the material things he had, all the monies he had, all the friends he had, all the opportunities to be happy he had, all those things he was forgetting. He was only worried about what else I should have. Uh, that kind of appetite to get more, more, more. That is not there. So I will stop there and to see anybody has any comments. Alma, Kate, or Alka, Dharani, anybody?
I think those examples really make us think.
Okay.
And sometimes we don't realize all the blessings that we have and all the details because we kind of look around and see the big picture, but the details,
Yeah.
that's where the meaning is. And
Yeah.
so I actually love your rooms because of that. It makes you just grounded and it
Yeah.
makes you be more aware, and
Yeah.
it's just fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. You see, examples, some of the examples are very good in spiritual life also. There was this man who is kind of playing with the kids, but he doesn't have much clothing on him either. And he was playing in front of the palace. And from the palace, the king sees this guy who is having a ball with playing with the kids there, and he has a beaming smile on his face. So, but the king, he's miserable, and he comes to him and asks him, "Hey, man, I have all this riches, all these armies, all these people working on me, and then I have everything in life you should ask for, but I'm miserable. I feel sad inside all the time. How come you don't have anything? How come you have such a big smile?" And the man responds, saying that your answer is in your question. You said, I have things, and but I am miserable. But see, what is important is not the things, but what kind of relationship you have, what kind of attitude you have to life, and that's why the spiritual life tells you about giving up these mundane, ordinary things, and don't go for so much as much as you can go for inner happiness. I am a great uh, believer from the beginning because I kind of was taught about this in my high school by my headmaster. We call them dean. We are leaving 10th class. We are done, so we will not come back to high school. We go to the pre-medical. So I went to the custom. There was to collect everybody's autograph in our book and preserve that. And he wrote in that my book, uh, learn to appreciate the inner beauty, and then you will be happy. Okay, so he kind of directed like a turn inward, see inward, be happy inward, be all those qualities that are as human being we can have. Anybody can have them, right? Love and affection, kindness, and all that. I was hooked on that inner riches, inner happiness, inner health from that time also. So whatever I did, it kind of directed me towards that. There, so being grateful is really being aware of what we have, what is the good thing about it, and all that. That's one spiritual thing. Other thing is, people. Somebody said, suppose you get up in the morning, you can remember that almost a million people have not woken up that morning because they passed away. So just be happy that you woke up. That's kind of extreme, but that is true, though. That's kind of make us to pause and think. For my definition of human being is only the human being has this intelligence to turn inward and to really find the riches inward. That way, being a human being itself is a celebratory thing for me. So everybody celebrates birthdays, but I kind of recall this on my birthday, how lucky I am, like a human being. I was born, just being born as a human being, having this intelligence to turn inward is itself something celebratory thing. Be grateful to the parents, be grateful to the society that's giving you all, and be grateful to anybody who is in your wife or your children, anybody, right? So all those happy experience will not happen unless you are a human being. So celebrate being a human being. Maybe extreme, but you can be remembered. So for all this, what is needed is awareness, not more analysis, more thinking, but just be aware that we are this, we have these riches inside, and then whatever the situation comes, we can really fight much better rather than having a worried mind or anxious mind. Having this kind of qualities I'm talking about makes you be here and now. That is the first thing. Learn to deep breathe and then not react but respond to things. And then also learn what the silence means, right? And then you can also see how can I really do these things in the moment. And how can I be kind, how can I be really grateful to what we have. All these things are, if you are aware, these things are very easy to do every day. You don't need any therapist, you don't need anybody else. You can do them by yourself and then see how your day goes. For example, if you are in the moment and you're trying to calm yourself by breathing, you will be in the flow of anything that you do. When you are in the flow, and you achieve a lot more quality of any work when you do it with that kind of focus and concentration. So there is a lot of meaning behind all these things, but these are very simple things to remember and make a maybe write it down, maybe see how many things you are already doing, reinforce them. If you are not doing them, pause and learn about the meaning behind it, and then make it a day-to-day affair. That's what I wanted to do with this seven. That's why I'm taking each one every day and patiently telling them all that I could say. I could say a lot about each one, but whatever that comes to my mind, I'm presenting here. So, so as I do every day morning, when I get up in the morning, um, I could really thank many things, right? But what I do is I want to be in the moment, in the awareness, right? And then I don't want to get this stream of thoughts come to me about the day, about the plans and all. They can come later. But the first 1 hour I spend usually with the wellness club that I teach my students who come there. I kind of do the yoga with breathing and meditation with them in that 1 hour. But the 1 hour I call it like a exercise in awareness. If you cannot do 1 hour like that, maybe start 5 minutes, something like that. That means you get up and you notice the nature, the living beings around you, and don't think about the day or open the devices to stay all the days news and all that. That kind of aloneness that you can have with yourself, you can carry through the day, and through the day you will be in the moment doing everything in focus and concentration and enjoying things, and then having done things properly, you will be happy to finish the quality of work and all that. So it goes a long way. That one principle, don't react but respond, is very useful for me uh, in my clinic or the meetings or anything that I do, right? So many things happen during the patient care there thing, but if I don't react negatively, but then take responsibility for the task and do it, then I don't have to yell at anybody, or I don't have to point out to anybody. If somebody really messes up with their work, then you can make recommendations, teach them nicely, and they are very grateful that you did not lose your temper with them. That's what I mean by not emotionally react, but respond with a responsibility what need to be done. Okay. So a lot of things happen. Patients come and complain about the nurses, but if I call the nurse and yell at her, then she will lose that relationship I have, and she will feel bad too. So what I would do is I would explain to her what was the complaint, what happened, and inquire her about what happened. Then she will tell her story. Then I will know if something needs to be, she has to be taught or she has to be educated. Then I will take my private time to do that for her so that she won't make the mistake. But she does it repeatedly, then she will have something coming up for her. Like, she will have some kind of punitive action at that time, but not right away. So not reacting right away and calling her, yelling her because you happen to be the boss, that's a negative thing to do. And also, not only she feels bad, you yourself will generate a lot of negative hormones. So that's not good for you. So if you are angry, it's not really good for you in that sense, you know. So any questions? I'll be happy to answer. Or any experiences you have with gratitude? What kind of practices you do? Okay. So something coming up on my schedule too. I'm supposed to put this here. There is a facial yoga. I talk about smiling, laughing, and all that, right? So people asked me about facial yoga. I said I will do a couple of days of that, and so it is coming up not this weekend, the follow-up weekend. You know, uh, people can do understand the philosophy behind facial yoga and how you can do that and how you can develop a smoother skin, wrinkle free, and also actually it cultivates inner health, mental health also, because you will be made to smile a lot and laugh a lot and all that, and also understand how these wrinkles form according to your mental moods and all that. But there are some special yogic exercises, breathing, that you could do to keep your face much younger than your age says. Okay, that's something that some women ask, and then they were asking not just only the superficial appearance but also inner glow. So I was going to talk about that also. That will be not this weekend, next weekend from 10 to 12 my time. So I was supposed to announce that, so I did, but they will advertise that all over, you know. So now, any questions about the stress? Anything else you want to? Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about being positive and helping other people. That's the last topic on this series, and then I'll go to a new one after that. I'm trying to bring an advertisement that they gave me to pin it there so that people can see it. Okay, I found it. Try to pin it. It doesn't take it though. I don't know what's wrong. When I said pin link, it says autofill. It doesn't take that. Anyway, I already gave you the information. Okay. So, anything else you want to talk about? Alma, or Kate, or Nazli, Alka? Somebody put something. Yeah, we should share the room, but I just come and talk because I don't do all those things. So, okay. All right. If you are all satisfied, you don't have any other questions, I will take up the seventh and last one tomorrow, and we will spend another half an hour or at least 45 minutes or so on this. Okay. Um, Enough. Anybody else has any questions? Ask me or tell me something. Okay.
Dr. Rao, yeah. I'm just going to practice what you just talked about today.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Alma. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.